Oh, right there. We look at there. I'm there.
Well, there is, yeah, I don't know.
Should be someone else trying to get in. Or maybe they dropped off already.
We're here.
Either way, we're gonna record and post it on the Rain YouTube page for later. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's the following week.
You'll know how to drive this, yes?
Yep. Yeah.
They're muted upon entry, so. I'm gonna put it on the computer so I can keep an eye on the wait and such.
Yeah.
Okay.
About that.
Was it when we get to 4, when we have the examples?
There was a couple of spots, so it was, yeah, number 2, video makes you human. And then these different types.
Okay, I'll just keep my phone up.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my glasses on because I can't see my phone. My glasses. Oh, hey, look, it's me. What is your business? I missed that.
I am a dog trainer, pet sitter, dog walker, pretty much.
That's probably a hot commodity around here.
It's going. I've been doing it for a year now.
Oh, cool.
So, I've been steadily growing by myself.
Yay.
In
But
2 times.
has been doing all of this for 10+ years.
Yeah, I've been in the field for.
Should we just
over a
sit?
decade.
Yeah.
So when we do this, you want me to share the screen, right? To share the presentation? Like to share this part
Yes.
Okay.
And-
on Zoom?
Well, we're gonna be toggling because we had like a interesting week last week, so it was kind of like. I looked at the presentation. This is something this presentation we can do in our sleep. It was always like, do we need a presentation? And then Darlene's like, yeah, we do. Can almost do it in our sleep. So we're gonna toggle between a couple things.
Yeah, but we just hit escape. Yeah, I can help you.
Okay,
We
you be the
need-
toggler.
I can help you with the, like, getting the examples up. Yeah, while you're talking.
Do you need to record it?
It should already be
Yeah.
recording.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay.
So, I believe she can hear me because the audio is moving. Cassadia, welcome. I am Jude Anderson, the Rain Venture Catalyst for the Oak Ridge area. And we have our camera set to show on our presenters today. But we're also streaming this live from City Hall in Oak Ridge. So there may be other folks that join. You are muted upon entry, but if you do want to talk or chat, I'll be monitoring that and try to make sure that we.
I messed it up.
What happened?
I just pulled it. I was going to pull it closer to me and then I pulled the cord out. Just the HDMI cord. There we go.
Yeah, it'll
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Yeah, perfect. Sorry.
So yeah, and if we have other folks that join, I'll call that up. But yes, we're gonna be recording today so that we can put this on the Rain YouTube channel and people can watch at will. But the benefit of live is you get all your questions asked.
Yay!
Answered. So
She says, sound great.
we jump right in. So Shannon and Darlene, also call you a different name.
That's okay. I'll answer to it.
Feel free to introduce yourself and get started when you're ready.
So I'm Shannon Hinderberger and I've been in marketing for 20 years or more. I've lived in Bend for 20 years. A lot of people are like 20 years. Wow, that's a long time living in Bend because everybody that moves to Bend lived there 2-3 years. And my background is digital marketing. I got into digital marketing in 1998 when nobody was doing it. And so I've been in that area since then. And my main focus is social media, marketing strategy, UGC, social media video, online reputation management. We'll talk about what all those things mean throughout this.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, you do what? So
I'm Darlene Veenhuizen. My background is in graphic design and branding, and also I do a lot of content writing. So I've been kind of in the blogging space, internet content land for the last 10 years or more. And so I primarily do any of the creative direction, the branding work. When we work with clients, I help kind of creative direct the content, and then we work together a lot on just that overall strategy.
Overall
piece.
strategy. And we're part of the Meta Leaders Network. I like to mention that the Meta Leaders Network, you can go Google it and apply to be part of it. It's a Facebook program that gives you extra support as a business owner. So if your Facebook account gets hacked, they're there to help you. If your client has an issue with their Facebook account, I can usually get it fixed as part of that. But the caveat is I have to be part of the Facebook page in order to fix it. So a lot of people call me and say, can you fix my Facebook page? It's like, nope, I'm not on your page already. So, so our services are mainly a lot, what we do is social media strategy and execution. But we do branding and design. Darlene does the branding and the logo design and things like that.
We do a lot of video strategy, UGC video, and strategy and branding workshops.
Yeah, this time of year, we're getting a lot of branding and strategy workshops. So we're going to cover the following things. One of the things we won't cover, and I'll say this now, is how to actually edit the videos. There's lots of tutorials out there, but we'll cover like how to reach more folks, how to humanize your brand. Staying competitive is super key in this. Spoiler alert, like if your competitors aren't doing it, this is a great opportunity for you to do it. Engagement. We'll talk about ease of production, but we're not going to show you how to really edit things, but we'll just say it's easier than you think. And then we have a free checklist that you can sign up and get.
So we're talking about video today because it is so important and the stats are really showing that. So we have a couple of stats to share with you that 73% of consumers prefer watching short-term video. I'm going to move these to learn about new products and services. And then short-form videos also get 2.5 times more engagement than your typical static social post. So you'll hear us talk about video versus static posts. Static post is the carousels or the straight photos.
Graphics too.
Graphics, yeah.
Another stat that's not on here that boggles people's mind is 90% of people purchase from ads. And I always like to show of hands, so there's not very many people who's bought something from an Instagram ad. Yeah, never.
Well,
Yeah, so 90% of people buy from video ads. Yeah. All right. Sometimes Canva's slow. So let's see if it'll go. Hitting it.
Okay, there we go. I guess I gotta click it. Okay. I'm gonna minimize these.
you can exit it actually, because I can see it.
Okay.
I mean, I can't see from that, but I have it up on my screen. so
Okay, so you want to exit the chat? Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to miss if there was a question or a comment.
Mhm.
So I just want to talk again about like why short form video matters. And mainly it's the growth of the users and where people are hanging out. So platforms like TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, they gained huge popularity during the pandemic and they continue to grow. So we saw they were already on the trajectory up, but it's even more so now since the pandemic. So since 2020, when it was 689 million people on TikTok, it's now at least 1 billion people since May. And then in the US, 170 million people are on TikTok. So there's a lot of people there and they like to watch videos. So that's why we are trying to help y'all figure that out. So we see it, as Shannon already said, it's a huge opportunity because a lot of businesses are either not using video to the best way. So they're using it like it's pre-pandemic, and there's some strategy and some little tips and tricks we're going to share that have shifted. Or they're not on video at all.
They're not using it at all.
Or they're not
It's a big
using it at all.
thing to see.
Yeah. So you really have a chance to stand out and differentiate yourself with this new media form. Not new, but emerging. So here's 5 things that we're going to share with you to know about video. And Shannon's going to.
So one of the things about especially TikTok and Instagram is your video can be seen by not even the audience that's following you, and it has a better reach. And a lot of times it's Instagram is copying TikTok in these instances, but it basically gives you a bigger exposure when you make videos. Instagram has their Reels feed, which is like the TikTok For You feed. So when you open up TikTok, there's the For You feed where you just see things that TikTok thinks you wants to see. Instagram has replicated something like that. And this is a great way to attract people, attract new folks. And getting for example, my husband and I have been helping a company with their LinkedIn. So even though it's not TikTok and Instagram, we're taking some of these things that apply to TikTok and Instagram and we're putting them on LinkedIn, the way the videos are done. And it's getting the most exposure of any posts all year. So they said their average posts exposure throughout the year is about 30,000 views. They had 250,000 views on one video on LinkedIn. And so it was just these same principles, like make the video this way, do this with the video, make sure it has captions on it. We might talk about a little bit of that, but basically, like, it is getting shown to a wider audience when you make a short, like 1 minute video. And so even though it's LinkedIn, some of these principles can bleed over to there too. So yeah.
So yeah, video makes your business human. So you're really having that opportunity to connect with your audience through storytelling. So this is where we give the advice to business owners a lot to get yourself on camera, to show your face on camera, and not just doing like videos of your products or, you know, other things. But you're presenting that human side to your business, and people love to buy from people.
People love to buy from people.
So any way that you can make that relatable, show personality and a face to that is going to help you. And it builds that trust and relatability with your customers. Another thing that came out of the pandemic really with how people consume video is that being relatable became a very powerful way to get your video shared. So relatable, being, you know, sharing a really great information and then being funny are kind of those top three things. So
we have some examples.
we do. So let's get that up.
Like, where are the examples?
Where are they? No, we'll get them.
I think this was me. And this is an example of one that I did. So I did this video
With the volume.
this is on my personal account about how fashion brands don't support women over the age of 50. I did this a few weeks ago. And then what happened is all these people started commenting and it became this, you know, almost viral post of, you know, let's talk about sizing exclusivity and exclusivity of women of a certain age and diversity too. We talked a little bit about that, like these, and we had all these suggestions. And so I made this like follow-up video and it was pretty easy to edit it. I just opened the camera and just started talking to it. And then I did some minor edits. Like I threw.
Yeah, did you make this on Instagram or on?
So I partially did it on Instagram and I partially did it on Capcut. So some parts of this I edited in Capcut. And partially the captions aren't on, and this is on me because normally I throw the captions on in Instagram and I forgot. In fact, I think I can go in and turn them on after the fact. But as you can see, 52 likes, and I think there was something like 100 comments in there. I don't normally get that many likes or comments. So it was like, this was something that was relatable to my audience, and people just, and then I basically said, here are the brands you guys all said. I'll move in a second, but that I had to do in Capcut. There are ways to do this in Instagram, to do this thing in Instagram, but I did that in Capcut and I didn't do the best job. My video editor was like, hey, I could have edited we have a video editor. I could have done that for you and made it make it look better. But
so
yeah.
this
It's like apparently not. You didn't use like a green screen or anything to get the cut out of you.
In Capcut, they have a green screen, so you can just throw the background in. So it green screens you out. And I can show you those things before we leave too.
Yeah.
I'll definitely show you those little, I mean, they're actually 2 years ago, I was like, how do you do that? And it just took playing with Capcut. Instagram and TikTok both have it in their in-app editors too. Okay. But I did this one in Capcut mainly because I wanted to throw those graphics up, and it's not really easy to do it on your phone. So
yeah.
if it would have been just one graphic, I could have totally did it on my phone, but I was like, I'm going to throw that thing up, but I didn't. There's
So,
another one too.
I love this about for talking about this relatability, like this human side of your business. So Hey Shannon Lee is a lot of like capsule wardrobing, kind of women over 50, right? And so you were saying like, hey, I'm struggling with this. I cannot find brands um that are serving me in the way that I want to be served as a woman over 50.
And that's my audience is women over
Yeah.
50. 45 to 54 is the audience that follows me. There's another video. I don't know which video this one is. We'll see. I was really trying not to use examples of stuff I do. There I am right on the Instagram.
I know you are.
Okay, this one, it was edited inside of Instagram.
Doesn't
I
wanna
actually asked her, just why isn't she
I don't
playing?
know.
So let's see. Go to
Okay.
just go to Mochi and see. There's all their videos are like this. So right there, grab that one. Okay, so this one actually she responded from a comment, and all she did was open the camera and talk to it. And so this company is Mochi Health. They specialize in obesity medication and medicine. And so she basically just opened the camera and just started talking to it and did some minor edits in Instagram. And I actually asked her, she said she edited this in TikTok. And she just responded to the question. And there's a way to do that in TikTok. You go to the comment and you'll see like a little camera and you click that and you can respond back. Yeah.
And
So
it'll pull their comment like that.
it will pull the comment up. So, and I'll show you that if you're here in person, I
I'm
can
not
show
really a TikToker, and this.
but you can do it
that's
in
kind of-
Instagram too.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of these tools really came from TikTok, I feel like, and then the rest of it, social media
Yes.
world sort of latched onto that. So
Yes, so that is the other thing too. I actually thank you because I forgot to mention that is basically that with anything that TikTok is doing, Shannon always kind of points that out as well, is that like Instagram tries to sort of follow along. They tend to be a little bit like slower on the adoption, but
It's like
TikTok is like leading edge and the rest of them kind of come along.
the tools and features. Like if TikTok launches something, Instagram will have it 6 months later. But if something's trending on TikTok, it's trending on Instagram like a week later.
Exactly.
So you got to be like, make it on TikTok. And so Dash does most of our stuff on Instagram, but my personal brand is done on TikTok and then brought over to Instagram. But there's some things that I don't post on TikTok or that I post on Instagram that I don't post on TikTok and vice versa. So
one thing I've been curious about that I don't know is true or not, like putting hashtags with it and whether or not you put the hashtag in the description of it versus in a comment, and if that's better or not. Or if people even do that anymore with hashtags. Because I used to follow hashtags, but they don't even allow you to follow hashtags.
no, so they took that feature away. So the hashtag thing is among our clients and among ourselves kind of a controversial thing because we don't use hashtags anymore. We search optimize. Every post is search optimized. Before I post it, I go in and I see what keywords are relevant, and we have a whole training on that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
We'll get into at the end, but basically like you put hashtags always in your caption because your caption is the copy like underneath the photo. The caption is searchable. If you put it in the comments, it's not searchable. And so when I see somebody doing that, we call that 2018 marketing, 2018 Instagram or 2018 social media is kind of like our thing. Stop doing this. If you don't want to look like you're 2018, we're going to do a whole series on this because there's just so many things.
So 28. So the other thing,
Well, yeah.
I'm like,
I'm going to mention one more thing really quick.
Started getting into all these.
Yeah. So the other thing too, what you said about how she just opened her phone and started talking to the camera and answered that question. That is another great way to just be relatable is that it doesn't have to be like, okay, I've got to set up a background and I've got to get my tripod and my lighting. Like, yes, good lighting is great, but like find a window. Like don't overthink the production aspect of it. Because that can also kind of like get blown up in your mind as you're first starting to make videos. So I think the best thing to do is if a comment comes in or a question comes in or you have an idea is just grab it like as soon as you can.
Mhm.
And it's not going to be perfect, but people really prefer things to not be perfect, especially on these platforms.
And I'll
They
show
want
you,
that
I'm going to have
relatable.
my husband text me the LinkedIn one so I can show it to you at the end. That's kind of going crazy right now. It's not even very controversial is the other thing.
So, like we kind of mentioned, because businesses have not quite caught in on this as good as they could be. There is a really great competitive advantage to using short form video for your business. As we've said, like these platforms are growing, keeping up with trends, and then knowing kind of the little things like search optimizing your posts, which we will get into. And if there's something that you see trending and you want to do sort of a parody of it or your own version of it, that's always fun too. A lot of businesses will see like really good success with those kind of posts when they've kind of done a trend that they've seen on TikTok, like in their own with their own special flavor.
Mhm.
I always say with that though, like make sure that it relates back to your brand and that there's like a point for you doing that. Like we don't like our clients to just do a trend just because it's trending.
It has to be relate back to your
Yeah.
brand somehow. So a good example of this is, have you seen the cucumber trend? Where people are eating a whole cucumber? So on
This was
TikTok,
a
and
little
now
while
we're
ago.
seeing it on Instagram, this guy started this thing like, this is how I eat a whole cucumber. And he basically has this container and he mandolins the cucumber in a container and basically talks about how he makes all these recipes with one cucumber and all these different things. So Darlene did like a take on this, like this is what's the missing ingredient in your marketing? And she did the whole cucumber trend.
So I did the whole cucumber thing, but I made it an analogy to your marketing. So I said, sometimes you just got to eat a whole cucumber. Okay, this cucumber is your marketing strategy. And now we're going to add this and we're going to add that. And we're going to, oh, we got to taste it, which means like
You have to test
you
it.
need to test it, right? So we did this whole thing. So I got to have my little like moment of food.
Darlene likes to do the more elaborate ones. I'm the one that just opens the phone and talks. So, and that's great because you need to have, we'll talk about that in a bit. You need to have a variety.
Does this relate also to like aural sounds and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll kind of talk about,
I like picking up the audios.
The audios are fun. Yeah.
so video also increases your engagement. So one of the biggest questions we get is how many times a week should I be posting? And I am just like, that's really a number. Like if you're a business, you should be at least posting 4 to 5 times a week, but you need to have variety in your posts. And so I like to say half of your posts need to be videos. So 2 or 3 of your posts a week need to be videos because videos get seen by a different audience. And the shorter the video, the higher engagement it gets. Because if it's like a 7-second video, people watch it. They'll be like, wait, what? And they'll watch it 2 or 3 times. But if it's a longer video, and see, that's where I get in trouble because I can do a long video. And I am like always thinking like I need to do more trends. So I get stuck in this too. Like I like the longer videos, but those don't get the higher engagement. So like we have to think about like variety in your posts. So we tell people you should have at least 1 photo a week, 1 or 2 photos a week, or 1 photo, 1 graphic, and the rest videos in their social. They're going to post 4 to 5 times a week.
In each one of those, are you spending extra? I know you said you guys search optimize things, but like taking that extra time in the caption or whatever to say, oh, and also this is the name of my business and we, do dog training and stuff, or is it just like to be present on their feed, pointing back to you, so you don't have to do the whole, because that kind of stuff to me, like for the chain, all these different groups, whether it's rain or whatever, like writing this kind of pithy, professional sounding caption to a video or to a post, which I don't even. I'm benefiting from this.
Yeah.
Saying I do all this great, but I'm just like 4 or 5 posts a week sounds exhausting because I'm just thinking so much about what I need to tell them in this, why it's relevant. Or is it really just about like, don't overthink that.
Do you repeat
Build this
yourself?
relationship. Yeah.
I always say to, if you're going to talk in a video, have like some sort of hook at the beginning because you want to get the first 3 seconds somebody hooked in. So it'll be usually like, sometimes you have to eat a whole cucumber. Hi, it's Darlene from Dash. We create killer content for businesses online. And then she goes into it. So you want to like tell people who you are right away. At the very end, in these videos, we tell people never pitch anything, maybe once a week pitch something, but at the very end say, if you like this, follow for more, because it may be the first time they're seeing you. So if you go into some hard pitch at the end, they're completely like, I'm out. But if it's like, if you like this, give me a follow, hit the follow button. And it's usually like you just point to where the follow button is on TikTok, it's down here, and on Instagram it's here. I just usually just point up because it's like they're gonna go on both.
On this topic of posting multiple times a week and stuff, Cassadia asked, she said, I would love to get info on a good app for scheduling posts and videos.
Yeah, we have some apps, some app recommendations we
Yeah,
can go through at the
I can
end.
actually put those in the Facebook group too. Is that where people are mostly accessing this? Because I think I'm in there.
Yes, on the Facebook group, and then I have, this had an event page to it too.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can-
Yeah, so I will send that after.
Yeah, we
And
can
then
put these
there's
resources in the
also
checklist.
YouTube channel, and you can links or references. We can make sure that-
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
The other part is, if it's, Darlene mentioned entertaining, digestible, like those get comments and shares. I did one about menopause last week and people like shared that. I was like, is it me or is it, I said something about, excuse my language, like, have I reached menopause? I can't remember what it was about giving a shit. I don't give a shit anymore. Have I reached menopause? And people were sharing it like crazy. And it was just some little thought that I had. So,
You had some examples that you wanted to show too.
oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, I did also want to say that I found this stat the other day that people will remember things that they see in a video. 95% of the information they will remember versus a text-based post is only 10%. I thought that was super interesting.
Wait, why am I not seeing the things I want to
Oh,
share?
am I on the wrong number?
You're on the wrong
I'm on the
number.
wrong number, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, there's not.
Nope, you're right.
So when you make videos, the main thing is they get shown to a completely different audience, and that actually helps you grow your following. We don't hang our hat on when we work with somebody like we're going to grow your followers. What we want to do is grow their engagement and grow their reach. The followers just come from that, but we never tell somebody like you're going to grow your followers 10%. Normally it's more than that, but that's not a metric and actually Instagram came out and said they want to actually take that away from analytics because they want the focus to be on reach and engagement too.
Have you noticed that when it expands your engagement, that things like the demographics are consistent? You're like, I hit it with this particular demographic of women. Okay, so when it expands beyond that, you're still likely to.
Yeah. So you'll find more of that like-minded audience. So for my personal brand, it's women over 45, and a lot of them have lost a lot of weight. So, and they're following because they want to see, because they are in that same journey, because I'm 2 years out of that journey now. And so they want to see like what they need to know for that journey. A lot of people that are new to menopause seem to follow me too. So anything you want to add to this?
No, I think it's great.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on the next one too.
So video is super easy to do. And doesn't require a huge budget. My husband was going to send me the video. He did. He just sent it to me. I don't know how I can share this.
If you text it to me, I can.
I'm like, let me see if I can pull it up. Will it give me a link?
Production tool.
Sure.
Yeah. So we
There you
do
go.
have.
Where should I send it to your
Yeah.
computer?
Mhm.
So, we only use our tools are a tripod that I barely use. And I'll talk a little about that. And we'll talk about this video in just a second. I barely use a tripod. I barely use mics. The only thing I will do is hold it up and I'll walk. And then I'll take it into TikTok or Instagram or Capcut to edit it. And you have all the tools within the apps to edit. And my best advice for somebody is just start playing around with them, because that's the only way you'll learn. I could teach a class on this and somebody still would be, I'm going to pull this up because I can't see anymore. But this video right here, is a video that has a ton of analytics.
Everyone's getting older, and as
So-
demand for care is increasing, there's already not enough caregivers.
He's out in his backyard in Seattle
Expensive.
and on his deck, and he just had a few
One way to
props.
manage this is to keep
And then
people
he
in their
edited it
home.
using Capcut because this is on LinkedIn
But
and he
since
doesn't
no
mess with
two
any other
homes or
platforms.
families are the same. No single age tech solution.
But it
is ever
took
real.
2 years to get him to start doing these, and he finally started doing them, and he's getting posts and reactions where he'd never gotten anything
That can
before.
actually solve all these problems.
And this is
What
an
needs to
AI
happen
healthcare
is
company
we need to
that's
get a bunch of
based in
experts
Kirkland, Washington.
together and to give
Um,
families and communities
AI
the
healthcare.
power to decide.
They
when
use AI devices in your home to help give alerts, yeah, for
Dementia
for-
care.
to generate
Yep.
constraints.
Yeah. So this,
It's-
and I think that he might have had this on a tripod, or he might have been holding this. I don't know. So
Images.
he found those stock images at pexel.com and did that.
Okay,
He,
because I'm like, I get nervous about royalties.
Yeah.
and all that.
so this video would have been fine without the stock images, but he wanted stock images. So he went out and found them and he threw them in. He did not know how to use Capcut a month ago. And he just started, like, I gave him a few pointers, like
Was this off the cuff? Was he just talking?
off the cuff. He knows this topic so well, he could open up a phone. And now what he's doing is every one of those comments, he had 15 comments. He's making videos based off them. Like, people were like, keeping people in their homes doesn't sound right. So he's actually going to do a video on that. So he's going to the comments and he's
got more content
got
ideas.
more content ideas.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So you could go do this on LinkedIn too. Like, if you are an expert in something, you could take all these things you're learning today and going there and doing it. I want to get back to what I was like. So, in small businesses in rural areas like Oak Ridge, and we consider Bend kind of a rural area. Pull the slide back up. Because I was going to say something and I was like, I got squirreled. Like, you don't need to have high-end resources. It just takes editing 10 videos on Instagram, TikTok, or CapCut and playing around with it and just giving yourself time, because they're going to be cringe at first. We have these lovely stickers. I don't know if you guys can see that. These cringe mountain stickers, because at first he was cringy and now he's like, bam, I posted another video. Bam, here's another video. Here's another video. And I basically said this morning, those 15 comments are all content ideas. Start making those videos. And he's got 3 major, those are for you guys.
Yep.
So the thing about
I made cringe now.
the beautiful thing about David, the beautiful thing about David's company is he would like to be acquired in the next 2 years.
Yeah, you want me to mail you these?
Yes.
And he has 3 major buyers or 3 major players. I can't say who they are because I'm on an NDA. They're on an NDA, but he has 3 big major telecom people and 1 healthcare company, big healthcare company, that in the last 2 weeks are like, we want to talk to you.
So how does all of this, because this is mostly seems like products that you're trying to sell. But how
That
does
he's
it-
selling a service. So he's selling a
Okay.
SaaS service. It's not necessarily a product. So we are selling marketing. So we just give the information away. So a lot of it is giving information away. Not all of the information, but giving the information away
Yeah,
and being thought leaders about it.
That's kind of what I'm struggling with, because I want to try to do like training videos, but I don't want to just be like, here's a training video for free, go train your dog,
Mhm.
and then people not coming to me necessarily.
But but the thing you have to think about is they'll watch your video, they'll try to do it, they'll be unsuccessful, and then they'll remember you and call you to do the training. Because we give
Or
marketing
go
advice.
watch more of your videos.
We'll
and
watch
be like,
more, and then the brand
Yeah.
awareness builds, and then they're like, I'm gonna hire her.
I guess it's just a matter of not giving too much information.
Yeah.
It's always what I struggle with, even during classes and teaching people. Like, I have a very high standard and of what I would expect from a training, but of course I'm different than a regular pet person, so I'm like, here's all our information.
Yeah, and it's
One
overwhelming.
session.
yeah.
Don't hire me for another session because you already know everything.
I'm gonna pull this.
Yeah.
Some
So
videos.
the other thing too is you could do some of these simpler videos that she's going to show you. Like, for example, if you do a training video one week about
My favorite.
maybe it's like sleep training, like a new puppy or something. And then you could do like an in-depth, like here's step by step what I would do. And then later that week you do something like this. POV,
I'm gonna pull them
your
up.
puppy sleeps through the night and it's actually you like feeling rested, So what we'd like to do is have the content calendar where you've got a plan for what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
pull all
then
these
you
videos
can,
up.
yeah, that's awesome. And then you can, you don't have to have every video tell everything, right? So, because the idea is that they're coming back to you, they're following you, they're starting to see your content. So, sometimes like we'll have clients that get a little bit like of anxiety about each video telling everything. It's like really, you got to think about the long game. Like they're in it for the engagement
What's the,
relationship,
like, we
you know?
used to see those, here's 3 things videos. No, just do, here's the one thing you need to know about blah, 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 blah. Because by the third thing, they're out. They're like, psh. So yeah. I wanted to kind of talk over, we have like, there's like several video styles out there. And so here's some easy ones to do where you take a sound and put text over it. That's me.
That's trending audio. Yeah.
That's me in a pool in LA.
Yeah.
And give pointers while we're here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we definitely have time to do
Yeah.
that, especially if you're the only person here. This
I'm
is,
completely free today.
this is Darlene, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so we were giving this workshop and for some reason, I get in my head even about making videos. And Shannon was like, we're doing this workshop, Darlene, you've got to make a video. Here's what I decided to do. I'm just going to get up and start walking around. And I have no tripod. I did this in 10 minutes.
We're gonna show you all of our tips and tricks.
I was
You have
sick.
search options
Like
to
this
do that.
is
She had
like,
all these excuses and I was like, go make the video.
I had all these excuses.
Get found and get more followers
And-
and make some sales. It's gonna be great. Join us on October 1st.
It actually ended up being
You
one
not
of
registered yet? I saw that.
It ended up being one of my favorite videos that I've done in a while because I just was like, I don't care. I'm not here to like impress anyone.
I don't
or
think
be
that video is
perfect
actually
or-
really long either. It's like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Every
and
video has to top the previous one. sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the theme here is, the first one was a B-roll over a trending sound where with words on the screen. The next one is you're talking direct to camera. The third one is you take a trending sound and act it out.
Guilty. 1, guilty.
This is my friend
Count
Elise.
2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 1.
so they took a trending sound,
guilty.
but then they made it relate to her content, what she's talking about, right? So like you could do this for pretty much any business, like by using the props, by using, her personality. So
And there's other styles too, and I go to myself for, we're on the dash account. There's other styles where you can take a whole bunch of video and talk over it. That's, a voiceover.
Mhm.
There's things where, I was
do
gonna
people
like,
do POVs? Do you do POV or is that kind of on the way out?
yeah, no, people do POV, or it's basically the robot voice with the POV over the screen. POV, you're heading to Oak Ridge to talk to. We should have done something like that.
Yeah, we
Like,
totally should have.
We're traveling to Oak Ridge today and it's us traveling and it's just like a trending sound. I didn't want to also give you like the 10 styles all at once. I just picked 3 because I felt like 3 is kind of overwhelming, but there's like 10, or 3 is not overwhelming, but there's tons of video styles out there that you can do. There's this one called Ugly Videos, which is kind of what Darlene did, but she made it pretty. Ugly videos are the ones that we did with the LinkedIn. Would be considered an ugly video if he didn't put the B-roll in, where he's just walking and talking. And that is just like that relatable FaceTime call with a friend. Those are great if they're not super long. So, and you're basically giving like one key point and you're not talking like about 3 different points. It used to be like, here's 3 things, blah, 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 blah. And like now we're finding nobody watches those. So
Yeah, and I also tend to be a talker, especially when I'm making a video. So for me to just do one thing, that was a little bit of like a journey. I had to be like, okay, get to the point.
and there's a really
Yeah,
good book.
Sometimes I jump on and I'm like, hey guys, I just wanted to jump on here and talk to you about, you know what I mean? And it's like this, I have to have an excuse to be doing
Yes.
this or something.
Yeah,
You don't even have to say
Instead of
that.
Jumping
Yeah.
in, yeah.
Just jump on.
Just edit the whole first section. like
Yeah.
the First 7 seconds, don't even say
Just
that.
start talking.
So this is a really good book.
Eventually it becomes easy.
Yeah, this is a really good
it
book.
does.
Day trading attention. We should be listening. I was like, instead of talking while we were driving, I actually have the audio. This book right here, Day Trading Attention.
There we go, yeah.
is an amazing book about all the social media platforms, and how to use them and how to take one piece of content and take it across platforms. Um, Gary Vaynerchuk has a team of people that help him. So sometimes I'm thinking like, Gary, not all of us can be like you, but actually he breaks it down on how you can do it all yourself, even without a team. And one of the things he said today, and he basically was that sticker, like, you're gonna suck at first.
It's gonna feel weird.
It's gonna feel weird.
awkward. It's gonna feel a little
And
hard,
I always
but like
tell people, give it 100 videos. Do not care.
100 sounds like a lot. I
100
would
sounds
say
like
give it 10.
No, give it 100 videos. Make 100 videos and don't look at any of the stats and watch where you were from day one.
Not me looking at every
To
video
date.
that I post. Is there another view?
Well,
Is there-
and you want to post like no one's watching for 100 days,
Which is our next sticker.
which is our next.
Funny though, yeah, because I'm posting like everyone's watching, and I'm looking to get
Yeah.
like 30 people to look at one.
Like
So,
we talked
don't
about it the other
even worry
day. I'm so terrified of saying the wrong thing and then all of dog talk coming after me.
Yeah, but sometimes being controversial is you have an unpopular take on something. Like my unpopular take is don't put hashtags in your post. When a lot of social media people think I'm wrong, I'm like, learn how to search optimize it. You'll get found. Also, like the basics of video are like you have to hook them in the first 3 seconds. That's why the "Hey friends" doesn't work anymore. Hey friends, let's talk about blah blah blah.
I'll do that when I'm recording a video. I'll do just what you do, Jude, and then I'll just when I'm editing, I just edit that chunk out because that's just me, my nerves, like whatever. But it doesn't need to be there. And then the sign off sometimes too. It'll be like, follow us for all this blah blah blah, and I'm just like. I sometimes have to do it a couple of times, and that's totally normal. Like that's fine. Yeah.
That's why I don't do anything live, for sure. Which
Yeah.
that was another thing, is like pressure to do stuff that's live, and it just I can't deal with that kind of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's almost like there needs to be like a Toastmasters for social media.
Oh,
Let's pick
that's
topic
a
and
great
someone
idea.
just, like jumps in and just
Well, I think when we met last week with our creative manager was in town, we were like, is video the thing we should be talking about? Like, was one of the things, because we go on like, we want to like offer classes to folks, but like, is it all going to be about video? Because it seems like the only thing people ask us
Mhm.
is video stuff.
And I mean, we do believe in the power of video, so
Yeah.
It
makes
is,
sense.
I think it's both a signal of like, this is new, clearly the analytics are showing that this is important, but it's super vulnerable. It's one of the most creative things that you can do. Before Canva, people freaked out and felt like they had to hire entire marketing firms to do stuff, and now, and it's like you guys said, giving away information actually unleashes the entire waterfall of it, right?
Yeah.
So like once you actually become enabled, when you realize that this is approachable, accessible, and not, just don't put yourself up on this pedestal about it, or your audience, then it actually,
And it's like the
And
post like
self-generated.
it's like posts like no one's watching.
right, yeah.
So this book has right here, 127 to 191 examples of content ideas. That's how many content styles there are, and like that. It's almost like what? I'm horrible at math. 125, 126, 127 to 190. It's all content examples. I'm listening to this audiobook right now, and I'm in this section, and I'm just like, I can't listen to this. I have to physically go look. But it's a really good, and it's an easy book to read too, because it's not very long. It has lots of pictures in it, but it's like the content creation Bible of the next decade kind of thing. So let's see. Do you have to go back to that present mode? I think we're done with the
we're pretty much done. So we're going to recap. Short form video helps you to broaden your reach, humanize your business, stay competitive, or be even more competitive, get that engagement, and help people remember you. So yeah, keep it easy, keep it real.
That's another sticker.
That should be another sticker. I stuck that in there last minute and I was like, really, you just keep it easy and keep it authentic, and it'll come easier to you.
Yeah.
It'll be more fun.
I had a Facebook group where I was helping women over 40 make 100 videos, and there were like only out of the 50 people that signed up, 5 that saw it all the way through.
Mhm.
So if you think about if your competitor isn't doing it and you're like, okay, I'm gonna like do this one form of marketing and I'm gonna do it and I'm never gonna stop. Like, and your competitor's never gonna do it.
Mhm.
You have a competitive edge because,
Sure, if you
yeah,
amplify that over months.
yeah. I mean, over 100 days or 100 videos. So if you're only posting, 2 videos a week, what's a half the year? I'm horrible at math. Don't ask me to do it. That's okay.
We don't hire us for math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bad with it too. Yeah. So we do have this amazing checklist that we made. It has a whole bunch of tips. It basically has we dive into how to make a content plan. We also talk about types of content, and then let's talk about some of the tools. So do you want to talk about, I know you had a question about scheduling, but for video editing, we love using Capcut. There is we have questions after this, so we can get into more questions. We have
We
a,
use desktop and phone. Desktop's easier to use than phone.
yeah, so Capcut has a desktop.
But I would start on the phone with CapCut and then you know how to use the desktop.
It's like a desktop software you download, or is it like
Yep.
Canva, you go onto a web server?
You download it in the App Store. And and it's a ByteDance product, so it's a TikTok product. A lot of people are like, oh, it's owned by TikTok. I don't want to download that on my phone. Well, it's
I'll
the
open it.
same editor as TikTok. So that's why sometimes I'll just use CapCut because it's just like it's easier to see things like on my desktop than it is on my phone.
And to kind of control where your footage, gets chopped off and things like that. So if you,
One quick question.
Yeah.
Mark, that just kind of popped in my head because of editing. When I do TikTok videos, it downloads automatically a video to your phone. Would you recommend to share it automatically to Facebook and your other social media, or take the video and then post it to Facebook, the video itself without the link to TikTok?
So in TikTok, right before you go to post, you can download the video without the watermark.
Okay, without the
Yeah, and I can show you how to do that.
Make it easier to save your own content.
Yeah.
Instagram does not. One thing you can do is if you don't want to do that, it's not an app, but it's a web thing. If you download TikTok downloader free in Google, you can grab the URL and put the URL in there and it will download it to your phone without the watermark. So you want to make sure the watermark's off, and vice versa. Instagram has one too. So you can
Okay.
take the Instagram watermark off it.
It's found specifically with my demographic here, which is usually over 50, 60.
They're on
years old.
Facebook.
So they're on Facebook, but they're not necessarily on TikTok. And I found that if I kind of share it directly from TikTok to my Facebook page, so it's a link that takes you back to TikTok, it hasn't gotten as much engagement because I would think most people in this demographic do not have
This community.
the TikTok. So they don't want to go to the TikTok.
I
This
hear you.
actually works
Yeah.
on Facebook too, because actually people are consuming the videos on Facebooks and the Facebook Reels. I will say that for my personal brand, they go everywhere. They go to YouTube, they go to Pinterest, they go to Facebook, they go to Instagram and TikTok. For Dash, they go everywhere but TikTok, and we're hashing out we want to be different on TikTok, so we're trying to figure out how we're different. So as of right now, it's going all those places but TikTok, because I feel like LinkedIn is a better place for us to be spending our time and not TikTok.
But for Facebook,
But for Facebook, this book, the #1 missed opportunity for people is posting the videos to Facebook.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah, and that's what he says, like-
But just wants the original video instead of having it direct from that.
yeah, you don't want to read it. It sounds like they don't want to go to TikTok or they don't have it. So
You want to
if I shared the video on TikTok and I would do share on Facebook as well, it just pops up here, totally awesome, shared a TikTok video.
yeah.
Instead of me taking just the video and uploading it directly to Facebook as a separate post.
Yeah, it would be better to do it as a separate post. Yeah.
Do you,
Totally.
what was the name of the URL or the site where you can remove the watermarks?
Let's
just-
find it.
It's Google TikTok video downloader free. Yeah, there you go. Without watermark download. So if you just hit that, You can download that on your phone, or you can go to the
So-
browser on your phone and put so we have to be TikTok. There's Instagram, same thing, Instagram video download.
Why do you remove the
Oh,
watermark?
whoops, that's not it.
Because Facebook won't show it with the TikTok watermark. It knows somehow, like it knows that it's there.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Okay.
I thought that was BS
Never
and
cheat on
I
these
tested it.
zodiac
so
signs.
you just don't get the engagement,
Yeah.
it's just kind of
Yeah,
keeping,
yeah.
wow, that's good to know.
How do I get the, I'm
The
just,
share button.
okay,
It's been a while.
copy link? There we go. Thank you. I was like, I
So
know
why-
where it is.
So so you grab the link from the TikTok and then you hit the download and it will download it for you without watermark for free.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also do this from your phone, search that same thing, but I don't know the name of it. I just Google it every time.
Yeah.
So
What was did y'all already mention the scheduling?
Metricool is what we use. It's pretty affordable. Metricool.
Metricool.
Metro, is it Metri?
Metri.
Cool.
Yeah. Of course it's gonna.
Log right in,
Open up
automatically log them
something.
in.
Is Hootsuite very 2018?
Hootsuite is fine. Hootsuite, Sprout Social, all of those are fine.
They're just
However,
expensive.
they're expensive. So, Metricool, I don't know, you found Metricool.
Metricool is $10 a month.
Is this a paid one or is it?
You can actually do free on Metricool to a certain point. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why I tell people, we have the paid version and we have that on steroids, and I think it's like $24 a month.
It adds up quickly if you have a website that you pay $30 a month and then this,
Yeah.
that, and this, another
Mhm.
$30.
Yeah, it does. I hear you.
What are some other questions?
Oh. I have wanted to start a podcast, so I bought some mics and stuff, but
think it's the same mics.
do y'all have any preference on your?
I think
We have those mics.
I think we have those
We
exact
have
same
those same-
things.
We actually do we do podcast videos. We kind of will like be real consistent with them, and then we'll be really inconsistent with them.
You notice that they make a difference?
People really,
On LinkedIn,
like
they
'em.
like them, but
here's like,
Instagram, they don't do the greatest. but-
yeah, here's like an example.
Good for your
Of-
shirt.
You're the website person.
So see how we have a
to
mic
people
up there?
to balance this
So
out.
we bought those mics for
Well,
these videos.
I'm gonna go back to what you said, and it's what we always say, you start with your website
That sounds
first.
good. What do you
And
think?
people might think that that's surprising
Yeah.
because we're a social media company. However, if your SEO on your
We're
website
talking
is
about-
not clean, and
Well, we have somebody that edits
Yeah,
for us.
this is
So we're to the point where we don't want to edit them, so we send them to somebody.
However, we both,
We both know how to, those videos in particular, we don't edit those. We have somebody else edit them. The other videos you saw where Darlene standing there and talking and I am standing there talking, we edit those ourselves. But those podcast ones, like I want nothing to do with editing them.
so, and it's because we'll do like 20 minutes of a topic where we're talking back and forth, and then the editor can go in and split it all up into 5 videos or
Yeah,
something like
we
that.
had somebody give us the idea that our podcast should be a climb and cringe mountain.
Yeah.
That-
So,
that's-
I don't know. We have to sit and think about that. I was like, that actually.
but yeah, like the cucumber video, I edited that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just kind of depends.
All the videos on.
Catching up cringe now.
Yeah.
Dash,
I
dash,
also invested in this little like set of camera lenses.
Okay,
I
so
do a lot of photography of structures. It was like architecture related, but I had yet to really use them. I feel like the camera quality on phones nowadays is just so freaking.
So I just bought an Instant 360, which takes a wide angle view of everything from this way and this way. And I also bought a DJI, which is like on a gimbal and it follows your face.
Yeah.
However, I use my phone most of the time. My husband uses the other ones. Like he is constantly using those other two. And I'm like, it's just easier for my phone. If I need a second camera, like to get like my phone, if I need my phone as a prop, I'll grab one of those
Mhm.
and do it. But they're really good for, those cameras are really good for if you're going to do vlogs. So if you, the DJI is not the DJI, the Instant 360 can go either way, portrait or horizontal. And the other thing about it is it's a magnet, so you could stick it onto something and then record a whole bunch of things and then move it like in different places. It's instead of having having your phone on a tripod and moving your phone around.
This one kind of wants to do that. It can grab onto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have that one in my car.
It's so flimsy, it doesn't.
So I have that one in my car that has an attachment to the top of that your phone clicks in. And I was taking it hiking everywhere, but my preference on my hiking trips would probably be the Instant 360. Because I can clip it, I can have a clip on my hat or a clip on a chest, but they're expensive. So
That's what I want to do because I could get more. My biggest problem is when I'm walking dogs or training dogs, I'm too focused on my work to be like, especially, you know, when I'm walking more than 2 dogs. I don't want to be like, hey, you know, what's going on? And the dogs are just running off or getting eaten by a cougar. You know?
That actually could be a whole bit that you do, like you're trying to do your own marketing and the dogs are just getting into craziness.
I think that would be pretty funny.
That's where like I think that the DJI was expensive. It was like $700, but the Instant 360 was like $299. And it's a magnet. It will clip on something. It will clip on a hat. You can also put this necklace on to where you can wear it on your Instant 360, Insta 360.
The other thing that I think you might have brought up earlier too was like how and when do we record everything? So we always recommend the batch record as much as you can. If, like I said, if an idea sparks your creativity or whatever, and you want to just kind of get it done and not worry about it, that's great. But what we do with our clients is we'll schedule out a time period that's like an hour and a half, and we go get all of their content for a whole month in that hour and a half. So we already know what we're going to record for videos. So one thing I was thinking is if you have a friend that could walk with you and hold the thing, hold the camera or hold the whatever, and you do a couple, and people get worried about, well, I'm going to be wearing the same thing. I'm going to do
Nobody
that.
cares.
No one notices that. It's really about what you're saying in the video, the funny stuff, like
is doing it because it's just me in my business and trying to focus on the work that I'm doing and then also getting the videos and
yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, just having all of it on my phone because that's all I have. And yeah, it's just
yeah. So absolutely, I totally hear you.
Kirsty,
yeah.
As I've gotten to know you, I think you would have so much fun with this if you can get past the like fear of the other experts in your field. I was just watching someone because I'm a fan of all animal videos, and she has like a pet crow, and she has it wearing like falconry, like leather clips on its feet or something, and people in the comments were like blowing up. So she did a video about it and was like, I have trained this animal, to use the same tool. Basically, she just like kind of clapped back about it, but in a really friendly and cool way, and was like, my bird is super happy. Like he's not they're not slave shackles, this is like actually a tool for being a professional in this field, and it helps him to sort of there was something to do with how it connects with the glove that she wears or whatever. And frankly, I feel like you're marketing to your customer and not to other. They're all
It's top of mind brand awareness. So if the other 3 dog walkers in the area aren't doing it and you're doing it, people are going to remember you. It's going to take time though. It's not going to be an instant overnight thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 6 months from now, you're going to be super busy. In Bend, here's a really good example. The top 3 social media agencies, we're one of them. The other 2 don't do anything on social media. So when a client comes in to talk to us, they'll look at ours and they'll look at theirs and they're like, oh, wow, you guys are actually posting on social media. The other companies aren't making videos and they might post once a week, a graphic. But it's never it's just like easy for them because they're like cobbling, we always say like we're cobbling our own shoes. Like we have the cobbler is cobbling their own shoes, so they're not working on their own marketing, but it's like we've always made a point, like we have to post at least once a week
and do walk the walk, right? Or walk the walk. Yeah, whatever. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you hit on such a great point, is that you're not posting videos for your competitors. You're
posting videos for your ideal client.
Yeah. So a lot of times we'll see businesses kind of get stuck in like, what are my colleagues going to think of me?
Yeah, we've had that recently happen.
And also even the content that they're posting is more like a lot of designers do that is, oh, look at this font and oh, look at this design trick and da, da, da. And it's very easy for me to go, oh, that's a great idea. I should post that. And then I go, my clients don't use InDesign. They don't use Illustrator.
Yeah.
Like they don't care about that, you know? And so any way that I can kind of get out of my own like esoteric bubble and make it relatable to them and what they care about is where I need to like check myself. And I'm glad that I have a business partner that like helps me stay on track because as a solo entrepreneur, before we partnered, we were both solo entrepreneurs. And so we totally get how it can be a lot.
I've been literally making videos since 2018.
Yeah. And
Like
so,
at least two a week.
so she knows what it's like to make video in 2018. That's why she's like, I'm not going back there.
I'm not going back.
We're only going forward. So any way that you can do to take the pressure off yourself and just make it easy.
Yeah.
And just know that, yeah, post like no one else is watching. Don't even look at the stuff.
Yeah, don't even go back, right?
No.
Just like move forward and keep it consistent, because I feel like you don't start to see the juice from the squeeze for a while. Too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your own confidence, and then it becomes.
It's why we make clients sign a year retainer now.
Yeah.
I'm talking and mixing stuff with the worst. One question I do have that I didn't really, well, what do you do with the negative feedback or someone critiquing your video, whether it's a colleague and a competitor or a customer?
You know,
or something?
I don't get that so much. So I do get things on people. I'll make a TikTok video and people commenting saying that I'm wrong about something. And if they are, what a lot of people comment on mine is, oh, don't use this person, use that person. And I usually delete those.
Okay.
But I have a video where I talked about, so I'm on GLP-1 medication and the FDA last week, little background, I'm gonna try to do this super fast. The FDA 2 weeks ago said that it's now off the shortage list. And so since it's off the shortage list, that I can't get it from a compound pharmacy anymore. And this affects like millions of people. So there was one person that was able to still sell all the compounds, and their reason why was they individualized the dose for everybody, which is how compounding pharmacies work. That's how all of them work. So these companies that were getting the compound they were just basically covering the shortage, but they weren't thinking about the long term. Well, this one company stood out and was like, every single dose that we sell is completely personalized. And so that bypasses the FDA. So all these people are like, you're wrong. They can't do that. I'm like, you know anything about compounding pharmacies? Because I get compounded farming medication for my son and myself. It has to be a personalized dose. And so I had all these people arguing with me, and it's just like, you don't know. It's just kind of like, they don't know. I'm not going to argue with them. Yeah.
Did you leave them or?
I left them, but like if somebody makes a comment about my appearance, or somebody was saying I was old and I should get off the internet, like they get blocked and deleted. Once you block them, it deletes it anyways. So
because I was like, sometimes I think people are just kind of shit posting and wanting to hear themselves talk, and they forget about it.
Yeah.
The downside is like someone could then pop back on and reply to them and be like, yeah, and then it takes on this whole, and again, I haven't really dealt with this in my personal brands and stuff, but again, I ask this mostly because sometimes in this community, Facebook becomes a row.
well, yeah,
And,
that's
and as part of the chamber and stuff, again, we try to be, nonpartisan and super inclusive and all those things, and typically if things start getting to a kind of a darker place or whatever, I'm just gonna ignore that.
that's when
because
when the chamber has rules and rules around like what gets deleted and what leads to say. So I work with the city of Prineville, and we can't technically delete anything unless it has a bad word in it. That is the rules around their social media. Like everything needs to stay because it's public record. However, like if it puts somebody in an unsafe situation, or it has like a bad word in it, it gets deleted. So, and that's up to the city to delete. I don't delete it. They go in and make sure that, so.
Yeah. I mean, we're not quite that public, but
I would say, yeah, just any, like, community guidelines. You as the community get to decide what that is. I tend to get, so I was diagnosed with ADHD a year and a half ago. My daughter also was diagnosed. So I've been posting about that on my personal accounts, and I'll occasionally get a negative comment about, choosing to use medication or choosing to get my daughter diagnosed or whatever I'm struggling with. But for every like one negative or even slightly snarky thing that I might get, it's
I usually,
The response for, thank you for like saying that, like, thank you for being here and being honest is way overwhelmingly positive. So to me, it helps the negative, and it just helps me ignore, and I will delete them because it's,
I'm trying to find, I
We don't
saw
need
this
that.
video today that was like around that. I need to go find it.
yeah. Sometimes, you can respond like how there was those video styles. It's like, well, I got this comment, but I'm going to tell you actually why, this person doesn't understand because of this and this and this. And maybe it gives you a chance to go in deeper
There was
where
a-
you couldn't before.
There was a video by a creator, I'm trying to find it, today that said like she thought that she was thinking that every comment was, here we go. Every comment, she was like bummed about people in the comments. It's this video and she has 2 French bulldogs. So at the end, she was like, oh, so there's this video up and she was basically like in Florida during the hurricane and how she got her French bulldogs to go to the bathroom during the hurricane. And there were so many people she felt that every comment was negative. Well, then she did an analysis through ChatGPT of all the comments and only 10% of them were negative. So
It's like how we receive negative information.
Yeah, your brain inflates it. It really
so
does.
this video really brings this to light. Like, yeah.
Bulldog owners are also terrible. I didn't say.
I am a French bulldog owner.
Are you really?
I'm a mix. I have a mix. So he's not a
Say that I wanted to get a Frenchie and I started like joining some Frenchie groups
And you're
I was
like-
you have to know what you're getting into with your dog. huh?"
Well, my French bulldog, mine's mixed with the Boston Terrier. Mine's mixed with the Boston Terrier, so he's not a full Frenchie.
Yeah, people were just like, these hobbyist owners and stuff, and I was like, wow, I didn't know that I had to be like a Frenchie activist. This is how sometimes the niche groups can become, right? Like the most passionate people,
Yeah,
and it's like, then it's not approachable, and I don't know.
that's
how-
my dog.
Oh, so handsome. Or wait,
Handsome.
or-
Yeah, he's handsome.
or non-gendered terms. Hey Cassidy, I'm sorry, I didn't ask how to pronounce your name. Just wanted to check in with you and see if you wanted to chime in with
Any
other
questions.
questions you had. I also didn't pause to let you introduce yourself. Would love to hear from you and about your business and how you found the training today, if you can unmute yourself.
There they go. Maybe they aren't there.
Maybe, yeah, maybe she checked out. Okay, well,
That's
either
it.
way, thank you for attending, and this will be online as well if you want to cross-reference it later, and I'll have some links in the YouTube description and all that good stuff. So thanks for being here. Did y'all have any last?
I think that's really
No, that's
it,
it.
yeah, just go
We're
ahead and
gonna
get your
go
free
eat a
checklist.
3-legged crane if you guys want to come with us. Oh, yeah.
Videos, just,
What is your TikTok handle? And then we'll go.
well, I have 2. One is, totally awesome.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, at this point, I would love to talk to y'all again too. A lot of like any other rain catalysts are doing these just. Instead of having to be an instruction, it's just like a workshop on a topic where everybody just brings what they're working on.
Mhm.
And it's more peer to peer, but
Is it this one?
No, totally paw, some like
awesome.
dog's paw,
That would be smarter, wouldn't it?
like awesome and.
PAWES.
Yeah.
Thank you.
and
Don't
then-
hire us for math or
Thank you.
spelling. There we go.
Oh, no, totally paws and pets.
Totally awesome
Yeah, there's
pets.
so many of you. Um,
Yeah, the second one down.
I'd put your
This
picture.
one here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd put your picture instead of the logo.
There's my dogs.
My picture instead of the logo.
Your,
Yeah, with
your,
the dog.
yeah, a picture of you.
Okay, just click on one.
The most viral one was the last one.
Why are you telling me to log in?
Viral one.
Whatever.
This one?
Which one do you want to look
That
at?
one.
Okay, so one
That's-
thing I would say,
Video orientation needs to be the other way.
yeah, record this way, up and down for short form video. Or if you're putting this like on YouTube, well, YouTube Shorts would also be.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts.
So yeah, I meant to say that earlier too, is that when we say short form video, it's you want to record portrait style, okay? If you're gonna record like and put it on YouTube and it's what, 20 minutes long, you can do this. Yeah,
It's really hard to record this way for YouTube. You don't know where to look.
if you have something that is on YouTube that's like this and you want to make it short, you want to make it this way, you can take your video into CapCut and have it crop. It will crop it for you. So if you're kind of like, if you stay in the middle of the frame, you can do it that way with animals. So that's probably really hard.
What's another one? Oh, I like the pictures.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Just make sure all the stuff, make sure all the video is like one way. So it's okay. This is just starting out kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
Because I
also
just take random, usually it starts out with, I'm taking videos and pictures for the owners and then just throw them all together.
Yeah, I would say just start recording a portrait up and
And
down,
then I take a CapCut, I think that one was a CapCut.
like a template.
yeah, I love CapCut templates.
There's one training video, no, is that a training video or did I just use?
This
it?
one?
The 252 views up in the corner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
And maybe for this one, like that one, I would maybe do a voiceover of what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. You could do, I mean, yeah,
But you're doing
voiceover.
more than other people are doing.
I would also use a little bit more of like your, so we didn't get into this, but like a little bit more of what what you actually do. So instead of saying like maybe at the end, be like, if you're looking for help with this or whatever, reach out to me for training or follow for more or something, a little bit more about dog training. That's just, yeah.
Mhm.
So cute. These are great.
See,
You're already doing it.
You're doing more than you think.
Yeah, you're already doing it. Like this is great with the words over. I know that takes a little bit of time
Yeah,
in app, but yeah.
I have another one, which is, Mad Ratter's brand, my personal one. Because I'm a visual learner and a hands-on learner, so it kind of is easier for me to learn with, looking at stuff and you're being able to tell me, it's like, okay, this is like the orientation,
Yeah.
that's already a big help to make that a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to look at my,
What was it called?
Mad Ratter's like that.
Mad Ratters.
Do you want to share the screen while y'all are doing this, just so people want to see us do a workshopping about it, they can.
Sorry, I did not realize I wasn't sharing my screen. Where am I? There I am. Yeah. So I would say the same thing, change the orientation. And then I would also say put you in there somewhere.
Okay, this one is specifically for my dogs.
Well, then what would you say, Shannon?
So
Her
You're
in the
the
picture
expert.
with the dog.
Yeah, you in the picture with the dog. It's that human face too.
And the lavender latte Caitlin account, the Frenchie lady, I would follow her. It's like lavender latte and what's it? Lavender latte and Caitlin is the name of the. See, it's that top one. I'd follow her. This is
I do
this.
follow a lot of.
Oh, was she the?
Yeah,
she was the one. Okay.
The one that, yeah. So I was following. I mean, I've been following her before I had a French bulldog too. It's really funny.
So you can get some kind of ideas of what types of things.
And see how they have these like dog owner pet peeve. That's actually something that you have to do that in TikTok on the cover. But she doesn't. She's now a full-time creator, so she wasn't when she first started this. She lives at home with. You could be a full-time creator.
This is all she's doing.
This is all she's doing.
Call Merlin Pig. And she's a creator.
One other question,
Mhm.
because I just looked at her
Mm-hmm.
stuff. How would you try to get in products? Like,
Mm-hmm.
products that you're using from a brand, like.
So let's talk
publicly-
UGC because we
So
didn't
this
talk about
is,
that very much.
well, it's not exactly UGC, it's
Okay.
influencer. So
Mhm.
UGC is when you make videos for other brands and the brands post them.
So much. And if anybody would ever be like, hey, you're making nice
So-
videos, let's take.
So what you should start doing is reviewing products. You'll just get better at it that you already have and posting them. When you hit 1,000 followers, if it's in the TikTok shop, then you can like add the product in there. But it just takes like just practicing doing it. You could also do UGC once you get to the point where you feel like your videos are a good quality. And UGC is when you reach out to brands and they pay you for your content. You don't necessarily have to post it on your channel. So influencer is when you are getting paid and you're posting it on your channel.
Yeah.
UGC is when the brand pays you to make the content and then they post it on their channels.
So do I just tag them in it, for example, let's say, pet safe or
Yeah.
Kurgo harnesses. Do I just tag Kurgo in it?
Yeah, and talk about why you like it.
Okay.
And they may reach out to you and say, can we use that video? How much is it to use? But you have to be consistently, it's Cringe
Yeah.
Mountain, you're climbing Cringe Mountain. And I would say
Yeah.
like when you're halfway up the mountain is when people are starting to reach out to you.
One video that I have on there where I kind of tried it one time, on the Mad Ratters.
Let me see if I can go back.
It's a little further down, it's been a year now.
Does it matter like time of day you're posting?
the one with
I
the
I post all different times of
Right in the
days. It
middle.
doesn't matter. It's like
Yeah.
if you search optimize it, if you're doing all the things that
So
TikTok
where I
likes,
kind of
it will show
started
it.
wanting to review certain things.
So it would be more of like you on camera, like talking. Like, I love this jacket and here's why.
Okay.
It's rainproof, it's, keeps the ticks off. I don't know, I'm just making up stuff. It keeps them warm, and things like that. So
Yeah, Kirsty, you're just gonna have to get
I
more
don't wanna
comfortable
be a
in
devil.
Honestly, yeah, it's just, and it's a few little tweaks, like, doing it a little bit more, doing it, in the right orientation, and then tagging brands when you talk about it. Like, there's a few little things that you can do that I think even will help, like, you'll see an improvement from
I
that
feel
too.
like if you got one of these, you could like attach it to tree limbs and stuff.
that's the starter tripod right there. Like I said, I
Yeah.
have one of those in my car when I go hiking, but now I have the instant 360, so I can put it on my hat, put it on metal, but I haven't used it because I got cut short on hiking because of
So should
all
I
the smoke.
be here on camera every time, or would it?
You can do a mix. You don't have to be on camera every time.
I feel like starting with a few seconds of your face is kind of what makes people pause a little bit. Oh,
So, yeah.
And watch the
Ye-
lavender latte and Caitlin. She doesn't do them. She's not always all on camera. She will do where she puts a voice on and acts like the dogs have different voices that she
Yeah.
uses.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, she has
I'm so
to-
excited for your page adventures.
Oscar has been the most, I noticed, most, favorite of my dogs. on
Shannon
camera.
likes to remind me, like, people, the seeing people's face, like in Instagram particularly, and probably in Facebook too, stops that scroll. That they want to see, like, oh, what's this person got to say, and it's that connection.
Not a person to go off because I'm like, I stop for the dogs. If I see a face, I'm less likely to
That's
stop.
true though. But that's the difference between you and your customer base. They're more
Yeah.
obsessed with dogs than they are, and that's
I think
inappropriate.
we're done.
Yeah, when I had my brewery, I always thought they want to see like me bring this beautiful crystal clean beer, and they wanted my face. Always had my- Not just my, people's
Yeah.
faces. Well, I think you guys have run overtime, have been very generous with your.
Sure,
no problem.
thanks for having us.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Cassie.
reviewing that. That really was helpful.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna say bye.
Bye.
And once the